Question number 1. Which among the following are features of a reinforcement learning solution to a learning problem? Trial and error approach to learning exploration versus exploitation dilemma, learning based on rewards absence of any feedback or supervision. Right choice, i.e., E is the best answer.
Question number 2. Imagine a newly born starts to learn walking. It will try to find a suitable policy to learn walking after repeated falling and getting up. Specify what type of machine learning is best suited.
Nice selection. Reinforcement learning is the correct and valid answer. Question number 3. Which technique is used to handle the trade-off between exploration and exploitation in reinforcement learning algorithms? Exactly. Exploration strategy makes sense, and it is right choice. Question number 4. Which reinforcement learning algorithm uses a technique called experience replay to improve training efficiency? Right again, DeepQ network is a valid answer. Question number 5. Tree search is used in reinforcement learning algorithms to build tree of all possible paths to reach a target. So, correct response. The computer choose the one with the biggest reward is the most accurate answer. Question number 6. Which term in reinforcement learning refers to the probability distribution over actions given a certain state? You got it. Your choice policy is right. Question number 7. On which of the following elements of reinforcement learning the reward that an agent can expect is dependent? Good thinking. Value function is the right answer. Question number 8. Which component of a reinforcement learning system is responsible for selecting actions based on the policy? Oh, excellent. Actor is a brilliant choice. Question number 9. In reinforcement learning, the process of adjusting the agent's policy to improve performance is known as? On track. Policy iteration is the correct answer. Question number 10. Reinforcement learning is a type of learning where an agent interacts with an environment and learns by. Bravo. Trial and error is the answer. Question number 11. Which algorithm aims to learn the value function directly without explicitly representing the policy? Valid point. Policy gradient is true. Question number 12. We prefer to use dash when you have no features, neither labels, but you can build a reward equation. Nice work. You chose reinforcement learning, and it is correct. Question number 13. Which of the following elements of reinforcement learning imitates the behavior of the environment? Sharp thinking. Model of the environment is the right choice. Question number 14. Which approach in reinforcement learning combines the use of value functions and policy gradients? Great thinking. Actor-critic is the right choice. Question number 15. Which approach in reinforcement learning is based on learning by interacting with a human expert? Excellent choice. Imitation learning is the right answer. Question number 16. Which reinforcement learning algorithm is particularly well suited for continuous action spaces? Solid response. Proximal policy optimization is a valid choice. Question number 17. The process of the agent taking actions in the environment and receiving feedback is known as? Clear logic. Your choice reinforcement learning is sound and 100% true. Question number 18. Which approach allows the agent to learn from both simulated experiences and real experiences? Smart pick. Model-based learning is the correct choice.
Question number 19. Does reinforcement learning analyze the reward given or does it analyze the feedback given?
Nicely done. It analyzes both feedback and reward is a solid answer.
Question number 20. In reinforcement learning, the agent derives rewards from the environment based on its dash. You're right. Actions is the correct answer. Question number 21. If machine learning model output involves target variable, then that model is called as dash.
Smart move. Predictive model is an accurate answer.
Question number 22. Which of the following is an example of an OR-OFF policy? Reinforcement learning algorithm.
Well picked. DeepQ network is the correct answer.
Question number 23. Which of the following is a common exploration strategy used in reinforcement learning?
Good job. Your answer, greedy works well here.
Question number 24. In reinforcement learning, what is the agent's objective when learning a policy?
Great job. To maximize the cumulative reward over time is the accurate answer.
Question number 25. Which of the following is not a component of a reinforcement learning system?
Well done. Data loader is the right choice.
Question number 26. Explain the concept of exploration in the context of reinforcement learning.
Strong choice. Exploration refers to trying new options is the right answer.
Question number 27. Which of the following is the practical example of reinforcement learning?
Well reasoned. Driverless cars is the correct choice.
Question number 28. Discuss the exploration-exploitation trade-off in reinforcement learning.
Correct. Balancing between exploring new options and exploiting known options is the right answer.
Question number 29. What is the significance of the value function in reinforcement learning?
Perfect. The value function represents the expected cumulative future reward is the correct choice.
Question number 30. Reinforcement learning is one of dash basic machine learning paradigms. You chose 3, and it is correct. Question number 31. Which of the following is an application of reinforcement learning?
Well picked. Recommendation system is the correct answer.
Question number 32. What is the purpose of the reward signal in reinforcement learning?
Valid point. To measure the agent's performance is true.
Question number 33. In reinforcement learning, what is the primary goal of the agent?
Bravo. To find the optimal policy is the answer.
Question number 34. Reinforcement learning algorithms with neural networks always use.
Nicely done. Standard neural network is a solid answer.
Question number 35. We prefer to use dash when you have features only and no labels.
Correct. Unsupervised learning is the right answer.
Question number 36. What is the value function used for in reinforcement learning?
Nice work. You chose to evaluate the goodness or badness of states, and it is correct.
Question number 37. In how many ways can you implement reinforcement learning?
Sharp thinking. 3 is the right choice.
Question number 38. How many elements does reinforcement learning consist of?
You got it? Your choice 4 is right.
Question number 39. What is the Q-learning algorithm's approach to learning?
You chose trial and error interaction, and it is correct.
Question number 40. What is the primary objective of reinforcement learning?
Perfect. To maximize the specified rewards is the correct choice.
Question number 41. Reinforcement learning is a type of learning that uses.
Exactly. Reward and punishment make sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 42. What is the main challenge in reinforcement learning?
Smart move. Estimating the value function is an accurate answer. Question number 43. Reinforcement learning methods learned through Dash. Good job. Your answer experience works well here.
Question number 44. Which kind of data does reinforcement learning use?
Strong choice. None is the right answer. Question number 45. What is the third category of machine learning?
Right again. Reinforcement learning is a valid answer.
Question number 46. Reinforcement learning is defined by the dash.
Correct response. Reward signal is the most accurate answer.
Question number 47. Dash is all about making decisions sequentially.
Clear logic. Your choice, reinforcement learning, is sound and 100% true.
Question number 48. What is the Q value in reinforcement learning?
Great job.
The expected discounted future reward is the accurate answer. Question number 49. What is a policy in reinforcement learning? Good thinking. The mapping between observations to actions is the right answer.
Question number 50. What is the learning rate in Q learning?
Right choice. 0.1 is the best answer. Question number 51. There are dash types of reinforcement. Solid response. 2 is a valid choice. Question number 52. Reinforcement learning is a dash. You're right. Feedback-based learning technique is the correct answer. Question number 53. Upper confidence bound is a... Nice selection. Reinforcement algorithm is the correct and valid answer. Question number 54. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Excellent. Contact Narayan Chengda is a brilliant choice.